morning.
Morning all. Another walk for the guys.
From Eccles, land of the cakes.
Exactly, famous for its cakes. So, why are we here today? We thought we'd do a bit more genealogy, a bit more ancestry, a bit more of my family tree. In the last episode, our last walk, we talked about Charles Lee, my great-great-great-grandfather. His mum, Caroline Ball, was my great-great-great-great-grandmother. So today we're going to do the trail of the Caroline Ball woman.
Without any cakes?
Without any cakes.
Oh, it does look quite nice actually. Now, is this one thing that is happening at the moment, church services during this?
Caroline Ball was born in Sheffield in 1817. She was married to Charles Lee, that was her first husband. They're the guys who moved to London, moved around, blah blah blah. It was after her husband died that somehow she ended up in Barton-on-Irwell, which is just down the road. And what year did I say that she married this other chap? No, 1872 it was. A chap called John Chapman. And this is where they married, at St Mary's Church here in Eccles. Oh, squirrel! Remains of a sundial.
And there's the top of a tram. And I tell you what, it's bloody well served by public transport. You've got a bus, a tram, and a train just 2 minutes up there, and all of which are pretty regular.
T'as qu'à prendre une perceuse. Gargoyles are cool, mate. Some sort of weird angry wolf.
Remind me of Harry Potter.
They remind me of Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes.
Ah, c'est toi Quasimodo. Ah ouais, quand même.
Have they repaired the Notre Dame because it was
the roof,
badly
mate,
damaged?
Yeah. Celtic cross there. Jesus' heads fell off.
Oh yeah.
Poor Jesus. How do I know all this information about my family tree? I have a subscription to ancestry.co.uk, and that allows me to access records such as births, marriages, deaths, the census records. The census obviously took place every 10 years. So we're going to see where Caroline Ball lived in 1871, 1881 and 1891 today.
Plus
not that the houses exist anymore, the buildings are gone, but yeah, but this is where this is where she married her second husband, Mr. Chapman. And here I am on the Ancestry app. Caroline Ball married James Chapman in Barton-upon-Irwell, Lancashire, in August 1872, when she was 55 years old. The marriage record, let's zoom in a wee bit, bear with. And here we are. So Caroline Lee, widow, lived at Fielding Street. That's where we're going next. Married 7th of July 1872 at the parish church in the parish of Eccles. The very same. See you later, parish church of Eccles. We're going down Liverpool Road now.
Not to Liverpool.
No. Is this Eccles? This is a nice little place, to be honest.
It's not the worst.
It's weird how this is just like the original bit, and then as you cross this line, everything's been knocked down and is sort of new-ish. 70s. COVID testing centre there.
And a very 70s building.
God.
60s.
Yeah. What a monstrosity. Eccles Shopping Centre. Sentinel House. There's another church.
I'd say that's probably 90s, possibly early 2000s. No, 90s. I'll give that as 90s.
I've never been to Eccles before, really. James has to see the Wetherspoons, but he literally came on the tram. Everyone loves the Aldi. In Germany and Poland, jaywalking is
illegal, I think, still.
You literally are stood at the lights.
Nothing coming.
And people are just stood there waiting. I know when I'd been over to Poland and had a week there, I'd come back here and I'd be stood at lights and nothing's coming, and I'd be like, what am I doing?
And everyone's wondering what you're doing.
Yeah, nice building. 1907. A lot of churches around here, James. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Another beautiful old building.
I'm not sure what to think of this area. In some ways it's very nice.
Absolutely stunning.
It's broken.
Very broken, but nice.
This is what it's going to be.
There are going to be some flats.
As usual.
Yeah.
An old Porsche in there. Not bad condition. Got an old 944 or something.
We're just having a walk through of the street here in Eccles. Taking it all in. Hey! We like the bowler shop. Oh, yes. Bardzo fajnie. Polski sklep w Eccles.
Is it closed? Oh, no.
Nie wiem. Please wash your hands and wear the mask before you come in the shop. What are we fancying? We're getting some food or?
Which one did you get the last time?
Last time I got chili.
Right.
Albo mamy serowy I wieprzowy. Co to jest?
Go free. Does that mean I don't have to pay for it because it's go free? Okay, should we get two
Well,
of them?
we'll go for
then?
perła miodowa on eBay.
One just for me or one for you
Yeah,
as
one
well?
each way, yeah.
Alright.
Nice selection there for us.
Is it dziękuję?
Dziękuję.
Dziękuję.
And there we are, another successful trip to the Polski sklep. I like that phrase, na razie. That's another way of saying goodbye in Polish. Normally you'd say in Polish, do widzenia,
Do widzenia,
but
yeah.
na razie, that's also a way of saying goodbye. Today's walk is an urban walk. The most scenic part about it is going to be my car,
Which I won't even see.
which is a scenic. To polska część Manchesteru. To jest żabka. To nie jest zły sklep. To jest dobry sklep. Witamy w polskim sklepie. A rather cool old post office there. Let's just get through the grillage. Lovely post office building. I think we should title today's walk Churches and Polskie sklepy. Churches and Polish shops. What's that behind you? Well, this street is Eliza Ann Street. The next street along is Fielding Street, where we're going.
It is about pubs. Look, pub. You could do a pub.
The day of her
crawl down
marriage,
here.
Caroline would have had to walk from here down to that church.
Might
Should have
gone to
probably
the pub.
popped in the Polish shop on the way.
Or the pub.
Fielding Street. We've gone back in time 150 years, James.
A massively long road that kind of ends where that truck
But the house where she lived would have been where that truck is, to be honest. Or just, yeah, on the left where that tree is. The 1871 census, let's have a little zoom, see what it says. So it says Caroline Lee, head, widow, 54, living here with her daughter Clara, an orphan called Joseph Parrott, and a son-in-law, John Beswick. Much as we'd love to stay,
It's not very.
there's not much to see. So we're going to head down to where 9 Wade Street was, and that is where Caroline was living in 1881, 10 years later. We're going to start with the cabanosy serowy, which means cheesy! Cheesy little thin sausages.
Another word I've learned today. Oh, hang on. Is it just one continual string?
Exactly. I should break them up. Fine. It's funny where you end up, isn't it, James?
Barton Business Park.
Just yesterday I was running up and down Rivington Pike, and here I am today walking around industrial estates with you. And here we go. Where these flats are now is where Eliza Street was and Wade Street. Exactly, the streets do not exist anymore. There were streets here, Eliza Street and Wade Street. There's a really good website called oldmaps.co.uk. Let me just show you how this area used to look before. Using this map, I've been able to pinpoint the exact position of the houses where she lived. The blue spot on the left is pretty much just behind where this Audi is. So Caroline Ball, in 1891.
Lived in an Audi.
Yeah, or probably the Vauxhall actually.
Oh,
Or the
well, she's more of a
Vauxhall.
Vauxhall lady.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
And in 1881, just skipping back a wee bit, it was just behind that blue bin there, between the two lots of flats.
Must have been a rubbish life.
So just slightly out of order, 1891 there, and 1881 just up here. I would say pretty much this spot here. So Caroline Chapman, as she was called when she died, lived to the ripe old age of 76. So we're going to go down and see where she was buried. Most of it's under flats, to be honest. I think there was a bit of an uproar about all the gravestones being taken and just disappearing. Just on the other side of the canal is where we're going. That's where Caroline was buried.
Well, it's just a bit of a detour down the Barton-on-Irwell.
I just spotted a rope swing. Do you remember our first walk we did together? And I thought it'd be a great idea to go.
I do remember it, yes.
And again, ended up on my bottom. Quite a theme in these videos. Nice old terraces. Built in 1870, Templeman Terrace.
Go under it. So Google Maps, I didn't actually look to see whether it went under a road or not, and regaining it.
Aha! Another crane lifting wood, just like in Broadheath. Ooh, quick detour. We're going to go and see the Barton Aqueduct swing bridge, just because it's here. I don't think we're that far from the Trafford Centre here, to be honest.
We're not actually, no.
Barton Aqueduct viewing area. Let's do that. Silly Jamie forgot his selfie stick today. I did kind of break it a bit yesterday though. How many selfie sticks am I going through doing these videos?
More than I've had at dinners, mate.
There we are, mate. What's this? A canal going over a canal. There's that big old bridge there that goes over the ship canal. What is it? Barton Viaduct. And looking back down there, that's we're getting into the centre of Manchester. Really. These ones are Dojewające. How was your blue drink? Was it nice?
It's nice actually, yeah. Yeah, it's good. And the bottle's a good size for a
refilling
water bottle for the next couple of weeks, so that's good.
Nice place for a little beer down here. Shall we get them open?
I thought you said, shall we get a moment, rather than shall we get them open? I was wondering what you meant.
Perła miodowa, which is honey flavoured beer. Piwo z dodatkiem miodu.
It's rare I drink at this time of the day, but being on furlough for 8 months, I don't know what the hell day it is anymore, so...
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie. Na zdrowie on the trousers.
Oh, pure gold.
Mm. Hello.
Hey! He's waving to us. He's got a lot of gas canisters on that. What's it say? Something?
Oh, hang on, is it two coupled together? They're either following each other really, really close. Yeah. He's tailgated, you do a brake check.
Do a brake check. So there we go. We have been sat here for what, half an hour? No, maybe not. But we're having a good chill. We've finished our perwas.
I should explain that we have just seen a Nissan Duke, which is probably the worst car in modern history, and this is the Duke's Canal.
Duke Robinson. Bridgewater Canal. We are very close. I think it's at the back of these flats where we're going to find the remains of the cemetery. Final resting place of my great-great-great-great-grandmother. Oh, what's this?
18? Is this some sort of relevant?
Well, this is where these flats are now, is where the old, I think it was a Wesleyan chapel was, and the burial ground is at the back where that car park is. Well, I believe there's a little section at the back where there are some of the headstones remaining. Wow. What a shame.
There's a few, aren't there?
Yeah. So here we have the burial records for Carolyn Chapman, widow of John, abode Patricroft workhouse, complaint, decay of nature, number of grave 129, and the grave cost 7 shillings and 5p.
Which is 40p, because 7 shillings was 35 pence back in the day.
40p for a grave, man. Carolyn Ball, Carolyn Lee, Carolyn Chapman, where are you? She's either in this neglected bit of cemetery or under the car park.
Even more neglected.
Or under them flats. There's plenty of graves all around here. This is really sad to see, this, isn't it? 1922, 1873, 1878. I feel a bit sad after going there, mate, seeing where my great-great-great-great-grandmother lived. I mean, she is one of 64 great-great-great-great-grandparents that I had. But if it wasn't for that one woman, I wouldn't be here. I mean, ooh, Jesus, it's honking at me. Hissing goose.
You nearly got goosed. Didn't we see it?
That was the boat that came past us when we were in Broadheath. Wild Ishi.
It was. It was, and now it's...
And here it is. Argy bargy. James, iPhone storage is full.
Because you've got a crap phone, you should get a proper phone.
I've not got a crap phone, it's just full because I've been filming too much stuff.
Crap.
I'm well behind on my editing. After today's walk, mate, that's 3 walks that we've done and I've not uploaded yet. Little port of Barton-upon-Irwell. Forgot to say, that's where we are. Barton-upon-Irwell. Love free, no social distancing. Reconnect yourselves. Tango Sierra. Misty Lady. Bicyclist. Listen up, kids. Das Leben ist wie ein Fahrrad. Man muss sich vorwärts bewegen, das Gleichgewicht nicht zu verlieren. I like that.
So, vorwärts.
A rather modern church, an old pub, a bridge with some pipes on it, berries, an old mill. Prisons do not disappear social problems, they disappear human beings. Thank you. Age before beauty, mate. Age before beauty. Woo! What is it? Bridgewater Mill. On the Bridgewater. This is the Bridgewater, obviously. Bridgewater Mill, Bridgewater Canal. So on the right, behind this wall, is where Patricroft workhouse used to be in the olden days. I read that Caroline Ball worked as a nurse, and I was thinking, did she just die at the hospital because she was working there? But it looks as though she may have fell on hard times, like a lot of people in the Victorian era.
Yep.
In the workhouse, died. But she did live to a good age, like we said.
Oh yeah.
This looks like the route.
You want to go back over the canal?
Yes.
Ah, right, yeah.
Don't exceed the speed limit.
Yeah.
Exceed the speed limit.
There you go, they're like Jeremy Clarkson up there.
Steps to the left. 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's the Casper slide, isn't it?
This is a pretty cool bridge.
Yeah, this pretty much goes on to the platform, the Liverpool platform at Patricroft. In fact, I can see the platforms there. They're only a couple of 100 metres away.
Patricroft station there. On the other side of this fence is where the poorhouse, the workhouse, used to be. Now a school, so I shouldn't really be hanging out outside it filming. But there you go, these look like some of the original features. None of the poorhouse remains, just the entrance gates. James, this is probably the only remaining feature of the poorhouse, these gates.
Ah. Here?
Yes, this would have been the entrance. Somewhere. James is going to get the train from Patricroft
In about 8 minutes, and the station 2 minutes. That's ideal.
So I'll say goodbye, matey.
We'll see each other on the next walk, wherever that may be.
I'm parked about 13 minutes walk down there, down Cromwell Road.
You got a car? Yes. I've got a smelly train.
Yes. See you soon. Take care, James.
See you later.
You're the man. Nearly back at the car now. And there we are. Done. Just short of 5 miles walked. Good little adventure today, to be fair. Somewhere a bit different. Oh, the urban sprawl. It's funny to think that I had ancestors who lived round here. I mean, how long did Caroline Ball live here? Probably from the 1860s through to the mid-1890s, so 30 years. Gonna head home now. Catch you in the bizzles.